So welcome back to my tiny shop. So I'm preparing for a cabinet build, and you know what that means? Cutting a whole bunch of dados. So to make my life easier, I'm gonna build a jig today. Now me being me, I'm gonna overcomplicate this. So after watching a whole bunch of YouTube videos, and honestly, none of them really clicked for me. The Wood Whisperer's version was close, but I wanted something more. Not just an adjustable width for the dado, but something that could clamp right on the piece itself. So I made my own. So if you're interested, keep watching. Now let's start this build by rating our scrap pile. We'll need a 1/4 inch sheet, length depending on what you need. Here is a 3/4, and here a few 1/2 inches. Now let's move my workbench, which will double up as an outfeed table. Here I'm cutting the 1/4 inch sheet. I'll need 2 pieces, 4 inch wide. Let's cut the 1/2 inch sheets 2 inch wide, 2 of them. Cut a 3 1/2 inch strip from a 3/4 inch panel. At the miter saw, let's cut 2 10 inch pieces. Before we continue, I thought I'd stop a bit and paint my ugly workbench top. I thought it would give a better contrast for video shots. Spoiler alert, it shows every single speck of dirt. Now that the worktop is black, I hope you can see things better. Now let's assemble the left guide rail. Do the 1/2 plywood strip to the 1/4 plywood strip. Now do the same for the right guardrail. Is there anything more satisfying than popping glue bubbles with a chisel? Probably just me. Okay, a key part of this jig is it's going to be locked into the same router bit going forward. Router and router bit. So just make sure you keep using the same bit. This is a 3/8, and the reason I chose a 3/8 is because I want to be able to make 1/2 inch plywood dados, and a lot of plywoods come a little bit smaller than 1/2 inch. So just make a note of that. Here I'm marking the left guide rail with blue painter's tape. I did the same for one side of my router. This will remind me of the proper orientation during use. Trim the left guide rail so it's permanently paired to the left side of the router. Now let's do the same thing for the right guardrail. So I want to install a bunch of these T-bolts into these T-tracks so they can slide through the T-tracks. And these are about a quarter size. So slightly larger size here, router bit we need. Here I'm cutting a long slot in the guide rails so the T-bolt has a track to slide through. Now, on the top and bottom clamp bars, I need to lay out a couple of lines. One marks the position of the T-track, and the other one marks where the router relief notches will go. Those notches will give the router bit a little bit of breathing room before it cuts into the actual workpiece. Note that these two boards are polar opposites of each other. Here I'm cutting dados for the T-tracks to sit in. I always like doing these in the tables. Next, let's cut out the relief notches. Next, from a scrap piece, I need a small fence. So I'm measuring double the height of my pieces. And let's not forget to switch the vacuum over. So let's attach the fence to the short end and make sure it's square. You'll need it later. Here I'm screwing down the left guide to the bottom piece. Make sure it's very square. Your dados will depend on this later. Now let's test it out. Okay, here we go. Fingers crossed. Woohoo! Love it when a plan comes together. Perfect fit. And hey, please, if you like that Dado Jig, please click that like and subscribe. It really helps out a small channel like mine. And comment below, do you think it was overcomplicated? Is it worth it? Do you have a better solution? I'd like to know. And if you want to see more of my other projects, please click here. And thanks again, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.